Hey, good morning, everyone. I am just doing a quick check-in. I have 9 days left until my study abroad journey. I'm getting pretty excited. And the truth is there's been quite a few moments of fear along the way. I am sitting in my car in front of my house. I am self-isolating right now, but there are two things I have to do before I go. I have to go get my international driver's permit, which is a choice of mine. It is not recommended by the university or the program providers or anybody like that. It's just something that I'm going to do as another form of ID. And if there happens to be one of the places where I'm at that I need a last minute vehicle of any kind, this kind of covers the basis for it. And then the other thing I am doing is I don't happen to have a copy machine at home. I do have a printer, but I am going to make copies of my important documents, from my passport to my hotel reservations to my flight itinerary, my driver's license, my international driver's license, my social security card, all of that information for my family, and a copy for myself to keep with me while I'm abroad. This was actually something that was suggested to me quite a while ago to make sure I have done before I go. So that way, if by some unfortunate circumstance something were to happen, I am giving 2 copies to my family. I'll be giving one to my significant other, and he'll have copies of all of it. My mother will also have copies of it, just by some chance of his get lost or wet or whatever. They are also, both of them, listed as emergency contacts on my information. And then I will be getting a copy for myself. I was told that having a copy of that information on my person is very important while traveling, but also that way, while I'm in country, while I'm in, the other countries I'll be in, I can leave my real passport at home in if the hotel or whatever, or the residence has a safe, I can leave those the real ones at home, and a copy of the others with me for any kind of legal purposes or questions that I might get approached with, which I don't know that I would, but for safety's sake, I have those copies. And because they will be copies, if I was to lose my purse or get pickpocketed or my purse gets stolen, whatever, then the real ones are back at my main residence. So that is my plan for today. Doesn't seem like much. The days seem like they are moving slowly right now. But it's crazy to think that I'm in the single digit numbers of my countdown before I leave. So those are just a few more suggestions for possible study abroad students, and also just kind of a check-in as to where my feelings and everything are at this point in the journey. And so far, today's a good day. I have done enough pre-planning that none of this stuff is panic mode. My bags are already packed, as I showed on another video. I have gone through them several times to double check, make sure. One of the things I did do before I packed was I got onto I think it's the embassy's website for the country I'm going to, for Thailand, and checked on their luggage restrictions, because that is an important piece of all of this. There are some things that on a domestic level, we could go from here to Texas or New York or whatever and have them on us, and it would be fine. Something very simple things, medications that are legally prescribed, etc., and other things. You can look those up yourself for whatever country you're going to, but it's important to review those things, because something that we may perceive as normal here, very, very normal here, may be something that is illegal or not allowed in another country. So that could be foods, that could be medications, that could be personal items, that could be many different things. So it's important to double check on those things before you go as well. My suggestion would be to do that a ways ahead of time so that while you're doing your initial packing, you don't even bother with those things. For myself, one of the things I do is I do take medication, and this was told to me by my program provider to get my medication for all 6 months before I even leave, get that supply taken care of, which I did over a month ago. And the reason I did that was if there were any mix-ups, mess-ups, whatever, and it's a good thing I did because there were mix-ups and mess-ups. Pharmacies or doctors get a little concerned when you want an excess amount of any medication. And so there had to be some information provided to my doctors so they could send it to the pharmacy to let them know that I needed that medication for a 6-month period of time while abroad. So that's important to double check those things. But all of these things, I would say, plan as far ahead as you can. There are certain things you cannot plan far ahead for. For example, like your visa. Your visa has a time limit on it. So if you apply too soon, that will actually cut into your visa time that they allot to you. So your visa, which your program provider should, guide you on this part, but you don't want to get it too early, because if you do, then your visa will run out sooner. Most visas are 30, 60, 90, 1 year, something along those lines. For a student, it is technically, where I'm going, it's a year, but you have to redo it in 90 days. So you have to check in basically every 90 days. So if I would have gotten my visa, a month and a half before I actually got it, then that would have taken 45 days off of my time, my visa time while abroad. So anyway, but most things you can do ahead of time. And my suggestion is give yourself ample time, because there are mix-ups. Things do get messed up. Anyway, 9 days before takeoff. I'm really happy to have made this channel, and I'm really happy to get a chance to kind of tell you guys how this process goes. Oh, and one more quick thing. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I think you can do that. Yeah, you can. Put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them, because I think that, well, I know for myself, when this all started, I had a lot of questions. And then I ended up getting more questions as the process went, because there was things I realized that I didn't even have to think about until they actually hit. So anyway, questions below. Like this, share it, whatever you want to do with it. I'm just hoping that it helps somebody.